Hello, everyone, and welcome to MarinOne and Meta's webinar on cracking the conversion code. We're going to be covering the Conversions API Gateway and other conversion strategies today. My name is Katie Porter. I oversee all the content here at Marin, so webinars like this one are a big part of my job preparing for you. And I'm very excited about both of the presenters that we have on deck today. We have Elizabeth Kennedy, who's a Principal Customer Engagement Manager here at Marin, and then we have Rohith Bhatia, who's a Global Customer Marketing Manager with Meta. I'm going to give them both 1 minute to introduce themselves and talk a little bit about their experience, and then we will jump into the agenda. Elizabeth, do you mind kicking it off?
Sure. So my name is Elizabeth Kennedy, and I'm a customer engagement manager here at Marin, serving the global strategic accounts clients. I'm based in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I've been working at Marin for almost 2 years. And before I worked at Marin, I worked for several years in local government and various marketing agencies, and have extensive experience working with Meta products. Pass it to you, Rohit.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Thanks, Katie. I'm very excited to be here. So my name is Rohith, and I'm on Meta's global business and product marketing team, and I am the product growth lead for the Conversions API. And I've been at the company for 4 years and based in New York City. And honestly, I've been really impressed with Marin's ability to be agile and lean into new ad solutions. And this is all about unlocking incremental value for advertisers. And I'm truly excited to be here and to unveil their newest offering.
Awesome. Thank you both so much. They're both incredible experts. I'm really excited to hear from them both. And we will be addressing some questions that we got beforehand throughout the conversation. We're not going to do a Q&A today just for the sake of time. We're trying to keep this to 30 minutes. So to respect everyone's time and keep it short and sweet if we can, we'll just be addressing those questions throughout. On the agenda today, so we're first going to just talk about conversion tracking challenges overall, right? It's become a much more difficult landscape in terms of how marketers are supposed to understand what their users are doing, understand what points in the funnel are really bringing in those conversions. So we have some solutions in mind for you and some ideas as to how we can address some of those challenges. Then we will go through the Marin and Meta Conversion API Gateway integration. So we'll talk about how it works, what you need to do as far as setting it up and making sure that your Meta conversions are tracking as accurately as possible. In case you're not familiar with us, and we're an all-in-one advertising platform where you can really optimize and analyze your ads all in one place. So that's for paid search, social, e-commerce, everything. We partner with over 30 different publishers like Meta to simplify the work of specifically paid media managers. So if you or someone on your team is really dealing with a smaller team, more headache, or just simply more work to do and not enough time, we really put the automation into advertising technology. So we're here to simplify the work of enterprise brands across the globe, and we have a suite of tools available that will help you do that. So we're here to save time and drive efficiency. Without any further ado on that, I'm going to pass the torch to Elizabeth, who's going to jump into CAPIG.
Cool, thanks, Katie. So what brings us here today is a topic you've probably heard about for years, signal loss. And you've probably heard about the impending deprecation of third-party cookies in 2024 on Google Chrome. But the reality is that signal loss already exists today, and the impact on advertisers can be significant. Things like connectivity issues, loading errors, and ad blockers can all hinder your campaign performance and ability to track and attribute conversions today. These challenges will only intensify once Google deprecates third-party cookies on Chrome. So what can be done about this? And we're introducing Marin's Conversions API Gateway solution. We've worked with Meta to implement their Conversions API Gateway, which helps advertisers easily enhance signals from their advertising efforts on Meta. It's easy to set up and fits perfectly with Marin's current lineup of integration solutions. Now I'll pass it to Rohith to share a little bit more about the Conversions API Gateway and some encouraging success stories.
All right, thank you. So you're probably wondering, what is this, right? So the Conversions API is actually a really powerful solution that enables you to create a direct connection from your server or website to Meta. And this helps mitigate the different types of signal loss that we talked about on the previous slide. And this is all about driving campaign performance. Like that is like the bottom line here. So as a result of implementing the conversions API, businesses have seen on average a 13% improvement in cost per result, and on average 19% additional purchase events. I'll say that again: 13% better cost per result and 19% more purchases just by having the conversions API. There are many different ways to actually implement this, but and it can take like weeks, even months, I've seen, depending on how you want to do it. But with Marin's new integration, you're actually able to get it done in just a matter of minutes, and that is not an exaggeration. So the bottom line here is that in order to maximize your performance marketing strategy on Meta, adding the conversions API to your solution set is an absolute must. Nice. All right, so let's double click into the Conversions API Gateway. So Gateway is a self-service configuration option that you can select in order to complete the Conversions API integration quickly and easily. And the best part is that you actually don't need any developer or IT support. So you may have heard of the single account version of Gateway, in which you, the advertiser, would essentially need to spin up an Amazon Web Services account and set up the gateway by yourself. But now with Marin's new offering, they're actually able to take care of all the groundwork for you. And as a result, as I said in the previous slide, you're able to get onboarded onto the Conversions API in just a matter of minutes. And as a result, you're able to lean into those performance benefits. Again, 13% cost per results improvement and 19% more conversions.
Rohith, I hate to interrupt you, but I just wanted to ask a quick question on that. Do I need to work with a cloud provider to integrate with Marin's Conversions API Gateway?
No, so it's a great question, and the answer to that is no. So you, as an advertiser working with Marin, you don't need to have a cloud provider, and that's actually one of the key benefits of Marin's new gateway offering, in which you don't need to have that relationship with an Amazon Web Services, for example. All right, so
thanks so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So as I've said, like this is all about improving campaign performance. And as you can see here, these are just a very, very small sample of success stories that we've seen businesses using the Conversions API. But I'm not going to read every single one of these, but really the key takeaway here is that all of these instances are centered around bottom line business results, like increased conversion rate, decreased cost per purchase, increase in revenue, and higher return on ad spend. And these are the kinds of results that you can absolutely expect when adding Marin's Conversions API Gateway to your solution stack. I'll pass it over to Elizabeth, who will talk about an exciting specific case study on how a business effectively leveraged the gateway.
Cool, thanks, Rohith. So this is another success story, like Rohith said. This DK company wanted to overcome the challenges of privacy changes and maximize their ROI. It's a pretty typical case for a lot of advertisers. And they ended up working with their agency to implement the Conversions API Gateway and saw a really great business impact, 7% increase in conversions. They saw decreases in CPA, but really important is that they saved $15K in Conversions API implementation costs, things like hiring developers to implement and then maintain a direct integration, which is one of those key benefits of the Gateway solution. And diving here a bit deeper into the benefits of Conversions API Gateway, primarily speed. It brings down that Conversions API integration time from weeks to, we say hours, but really less than an hour for you. The cost is very efficient. It's a lower cost to you due to not needing technical resources and requirements on your side. And it's a lower technical lift. So with just a little bit of technical knowledge, you can set up and configure the Conversions API yourself. Minimal support needed from your IT or developer teams. This is really a do-it-yourself type of solution. And then as a bonus, low maintenance cost. So unlike the manual direct integrations, the Conversions API Gateway can auto-update with consent whenever new features become available. So that really reduces your long-term maintenance cost of the integration. Now, This is an ideal solution for your business if you kind of meet these conditions. So you're not sending the web events using the Conversions API yet. You're already using the Metapixel. You're not working with an e-commerce Conversions API enabled partner, examples being Shopify, WooCommerce, and BigCommerce. If you have limited developer bandwidth to implement and maintain other Conversions API paths to integrations, this can be a big lift, as we've mentioned a couple times. And finally, if you work with an agency that supports Conversions API gateway multi-account, such as Marin. And if you are in the situation where you're already working with an e-commerce partner to manage your Metapixel, we just recommend that you just leverage your existing partner if they have the Conversions API support, just to keep things simple. Now, if you would like to proceed with this solution, getting set up is really quick and easy. 3 steps to complete the process. First, you'll need to create a login using the code that we would generate for you. Then you'll add relevant team members, get them access to the dashboard. And finally, you'll need to add your data sources and configure data routing from the Pixel to the Conversions API gateway. So you'll receive full support in this onboarding process. It shouldn't take any more than 30 minutes. Really a great situation for anyone looking for a quick and easy solution. And now I'll hand it over to Rohith again to share some best practices for maximizing performance.
Awesome. Well, yeah, so step 1 is getting integrated with the Conversions API, and step 2 is really just making sure that you have an optimal setup. But actually, before we go into like the best practices, just wanted to give you a quick overview of like how this actually works, like how the data is routed from your website to Meta. So again, this is how like the data flows with the Conversions API implemented. As I said earlier, you're able to send your marketing data like purchase events and add to carts directly from your server and website to the Conversions API and to Meta. So the result is that your ad campaigns, again, will be more efficient, and as we saw in the previous slides, you'll be able to drive more conversions. So looking at the graph, the purchase events will go from your website to the Conversions API and directly to Meta. And this is important because right now, the Metapixel is based on third-party cookies, and we all know like the limitations currently and coming up in the very near future with regards to third-party cookies, as they will just get basically outlawed.
And Rohith, another question on that, on how it works. Does Gateway send any more data than the Pixel, or are they?
Yeah, so great question. The answer to that is no. So Gateway actually covers the same web traffic captured by the Metapixel, but the difference is that because the data is now being sent directly from your server, the advertiser server, to Meta, you're able to capture additional purchases and other events that would not be captured due to signal loss. Things like ad blockers, things like browsers that currently have third-party cookies disabled, like Firefox and Safari.
Makes sense. Great.
All right, so after you spend a few minutes getting integrated with Marin's gateway integration, you'll need to pay close attention to event match quality, also known as EMQ. So EMQ is a metric that indicates how effective the customer information sent from the Conversions API may be to matching to a Meta account. So if you have a poor or okay rating, you may see fewer conversions and a higher cost per result. Basically, you could be doing better. On the flip side, you should always be aiming for a good or great rating. And as a result, you will see more conversions or attribute more conversions. And as a result, you'll drive a lower cost per result. So very important to be striving for and achieving that good or great EMQ rating. You're probably wondering like why EMQ is important. So the bottom line is, again, this is all about better campaign performance, and having that good or great EMQ has proven to drive 33% more purchase events and 82% more subscription events compared to a lower EMQ score. So very important to continue driving the good or great EMQ scores. All right, I'll pass it back to Elizabeth to talk about how the gateway kind of like adds value to Marin.
Beautiful, thank you. So in the context of Conversions API Gateway and Marin, there are many opportunities to fuel additional solution in these categories. So in reporting and analysis at a high level, you get more accurate data from CAPI and the benefits of Marin's reporting automation and visualization. Advertisers can marry CAPI data with data from other sources within Marin and have a complete picture of performance. In optimization and automation, advertisers can use these CAPI signals in conjunction with Marin's automated rules for hands-off optimization. And teams can also better manage their ads within Marin when they have that full picture of performance from CAPI. So next we're going to cover a little bit more about some omni-channel opportunities within Marin, CAPI, and some other solutions. And I know there was a question here that we have received before, so I'm just going to cover that. And it was, how do you manage attributing conversions in a scenario where multiple channels contribute to a single conversion? Which is a great question. And we could really spend a lot of time talking about this topic, which is really multi-channel attribution and attribution modeling. Keeping the answer brief just for today, you'll need to collect data, first of all, on all of the touch points that a user interacts with prior to making the conversion. And this can be done with tools like CAPI, Marin Tracker, which is Marin's proprietary tracking solution, and then other tracking solutions, perhaps first-party data, etc. And then based on your goals, you'll want to decide which conversion model works best for your needs. There is something called a linear model, time decay, position-based. There are several different ways to go about this. And again, we could get into a lot more detail on this, but it's really just finding what's the best fit for your goals in your business. That's just a short, high-level answer. If you'd like to hear more, Marin does offer consulting as well. We're happy to discuss further. Beautiful. So I think we went forward a slide. Would you go back a slide for me, Rohith? Great. So omnichannel conversion tracking, diving into this. With CAPI, you get the ability to optimize your meta campaigns and you get the most accurate data. There's also Marin Tracker, which I said before is Marin's proprietary tracking tool, which gives you cross-channel data and is not just limited to meta campaigns. If you use CAPI and Marin Tracker, this unlocks more sophisticated solution for attributing offline revenue and full funnel reporting. For example, you can use CAPI to track the website sign up, and Marin can pass back the realized offline revenue for the same ad, or potentially you can use CAPI for reporting and Marin for optimization rules. Now, outside of the Marin and Meta ecosystem, you also have Google Analytics 4, which a lot of us know as GA4, which has been rebuilt to include more capabilities like predictive modeling, attribution, and LTV modeling. It does require 12 months of data for features to model accurately. Nonetheless, another great option for enhancing signal data with your advertising activity. And we'd also be remiss not to mention the importance of first-party data. As third-party cookies are phased out, first-party data becomes more important than ever. About 80% of advertisers currently rely on third-party cookies, and without them, these advertisers are going to need new ways to reach their customers and prospects online. If you're already capturing first-party data, this can be brought into Marin alongside other performance data for performance or for reporting and optimization purposes. And then Rohith, you can hop to the next one. Wonderful. So this is...
and Elizabeth, sorry to interrupt. Apologies, I was having some connectivity issues there. Thank you for moving forward. But I did want to ask a question on this section, just about what are common mistakes that businesses make when implementing omni-channel conversion tracking, and really how can they avoid those things?
Sure. So some common errors we see are simply choosing the wrong conversion action for your campaigns, such as choosing a campaign optimized for clicks when the goal for the campaign is leads, for example. You really want to make sure that the conversion action aligns with what you're actually trying to get the user to do. And then not including tracking parameters or having missing tags on web pages. So a little due diligence goes a long way. Just making sure you have those tracking parameters helps you ensure that you have accurate conversion tracking, no gaps there, and everything is as expected. And then inconsistent and or incorrect attribution modeling, which I touched on a little bit before, but it's really important to make sure that the method you choose makes sense for your goals and that you're comparing apples to apples. You're using the consistent attribution model and making those comparisons based on that. So for example, if you choose last click and you only consider the last touch point before the user makes the conversion, you're potentially ignoring the impact of prior touch points on campaign performance, which we do why we do recommend multi-channel attribution as a way to better track your performance and understand what your customers are doing. Cool. So then just covering this slide here, and we did highlight the CAPI gateway today, but just want you to know that Marin Software has dozens of publisher partnerships, which means you can view all your advertising campaigns across all channels in one place. And we also offer various CRM integrations that enable marketers to optimize their search, social, and display campaigns based on their CRM data. You can leverage customer data such as purchase history and lifetime value to improve campaign performance and audience targeting while creating a more personalized experience for your customers. Alrighty, and then wrapping up with a few key takeaways. Thank you everyone for sticking with us. First of all, signal loss, it's prevalent right now, only going to get worse. As a result, you're missing out on conversions. So Meta's CAPI gateway through Marin is a really easy solution for you to boost signal from Meta campaigns. And then adding other solutions such as Marin Tracker can further enhance your conversion data availability and accuracy. Adopting CAPI with Marin is very simple. The process is quick and you're ready to go in under an hour, and then you get enhanced conversion tracking. Adopting CAPI via Marin also means that you're able to take advantage of Marin's automation and reporting capabilities, thereby turbocharging your campaign performance. Great word. Cool.
Perfect. Well, I'll jump back in here, and I can't help but feel that it's a little bit humorous and ironic that we had our own signal loss in this very webinar. We're definitely going to be overcoming that as you integrate CAPIG into your performance marketing. We promised to keep it short and sweet today, so we're going to do just that. We ask you to go ahead and scan this QR code or click on that link. You can also email Elizabeth or our marketing team on how to follow up and get started. We're ready to integrate this tool for you right now today and really drive more conversions on your Meta performance marketing. So very excited that you all chose to join us, and we're so grateful that we had Rohith and Elizabeth, who are both excellent speakers and experts in the space. So thank you all so much and have a great day.